Therefore, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, put on then gentleness, patience, compassion, meekness, and kindness, and bear with each other. If anyone has a grievance against each other, forgive each other as the Lord has forgiven you. That's Colossians chapter 3, verses 12 through 13. Take a moment, open up your Bibles, read that. Today I want to talk about dealing with difficult people. Maybe it's a difficult coworker, maybe it's a difficult family member, maybe it's a difficult neighbor, maybe it's a difficult caregiver. But dealing with difficult people. And here's where I want to go. Certainly there might be many people in our life where we've already tried to deal with them and maybe we've already created boundaries, but I don't want to talk about boundaries today, and certainly it's another topic for another day. And certainly when it comes to difficult people, if someone is forcing you to do something that they clearly should be in trouble for and they're clearly hurting you physically or emotionally, please tell someone, get some help. Right, that's another devotion for another day. But dealing with difficult people. And so we all have that because people in and of themselves are difficult. Nobody is perfect. And some people, right, when I think about a difficult person, who is it that you'd want to eat lunch with? Who is it that you don't want to eat lunch with? That's the difficult person. Who is it when you see them in the hallway, you kind of have to force yourself to make eye contact and actually say, hi, how's it going today? Right? Difficult people. Right? Think about that. How do you deal with them? And what is our faith? What has Jesus taught us to do when we have difficult people in our life? A couple of truths that come to my mind when I think about this and I ask Jesus, how am I supposed to deal with difficult people? Is first of all, a lot of his statements about how we need to deal with our enemy. And an enemy is much more difficult than a difficult person, but let's go there because I think there's truths there that help us deal with difficult people. And the first one is this, is Jesus tells us to pray for our enemies. And in this devotional time, pray for difficult people. What does that look like? Right? Is it God, help them to be nice to me? Or is it God, please calm their hearts and their minds today at work? Actually interceding for those people. Start praying for them. Asking God questions about them. Right? Listening to God in that, but giving them to God and trusting them to God and asking God to show up and give them grace today. Right? Pray for the difficult people in your life. Let's just start there. And maybe we need to end there. And I don't know if you've ever tried that, and I want to encourage you, try it. Try it, pray for them. Not just once, but pray for them throughout the time. And when you're with them, pray for them. Not just about them, but pray for them. That God would give them daily bread. That God would forgive them. That God would not lead them into temptation. That God's will be done in their life. That they would sense God. That they would know who they are as God's son, as God's daughter. Pray for them. Another thing I would encourage you to do comes from the book of Proverbs and even from the book of James in the scriptures. And it's this: if someone's difficult, it's hard to be patient with them, right? You want to be angry with them. Become slow to speak and quick to listen. That's what James says. But even more than that, seek to understand. Patient people are people who have a deep understanding. Right? Get to know that difficult person. Try to understand who they are, what makes them who they are, and why they're being difficult, right? Most people who are difficult, they have some hurt, they have some pain, they have something going on in their life that they're struggling dealing with, and so they take it on other people, right? You and I know this. We know this to be true. When we become difficult, we know it's because we're emotionally a mess at that time, right? Seek to understand. That's what I'll encourage you to do. If there's difficult people in your life, get to know them. Maybe take them out to lunch. Maybe sit down with them and just ask questions. Get to know them. Get to know them. Third one is this, is once you're getting to know them, bless them. Bless them. What does that mean? Maybe the blessing is taking them out to lunch. Maybe the blessing is slowing down and just talking to them. But Jesus says, bless your enemies. Bless those who persecute you. What does that mean? Does it mean give them a gift? Maybe. Does it mean pray for them? Yeah. Right? But bless them. Bless them. Another thing that comes to mind is this, and it's so easy to have the spirit of offense, but yet God has called us, as I shared in that Colossians passage, compassionate, kind, meek, humility, right? Forgive each other as you have been forgiven, right? Don't have the spirit of offense, right? Don't be so quickly offended by them. Have grace. Be bent towards grace, right? Don't be so fragile yourself, right? Offer grace, right? Not revenge, but mercy, right? Jesus said, blessed are the merciful, so they will be shown mercy. And so when they do hurt you, when they do become difficult towards you, how are you going to respond to that? What did Jesus say? Turn the cheek. Turn the cheek if they insult you, right? Forgive them. Be quick to forgive. Right? How do you deal with difficult people? Today I want to encourage you, deal with difficult people as Jesus has taught you to deal with people. I know I just gave you 4 or 5 different things, but go for it. And in the end, that first one, pray for them, pray for them. Pray for them, pray for them, pray for them. Pray for your enemies. And so I pray that you and I are not difficult people, first and foremost, but more than that, that when we encounter difficult people, that we will encounter them by faith. And so today we are called to love our neighbors, not just those that is easy to love, but those who it's difficult to love. May God bless you as you seek to love some difficult people today.